Welcome to The Explainer. This is where we break down big ideas, and today we are setting sail to settle the revolutionary island of CATAN.
All right, so let's get right into it. The whole point of CATAN isn't just, surviving on this uncharted island. It's about thriving. You're trying to build the most successful civilization out of everyone at the table. Seriously, you're not just playing a game here. You're basically managing a brand new economy from scratch.
So, what makes it so special? Well, the game is played on this variable board. It's made of 19 of these hexagonal terrain tiles. And what that means is, every single time you sit down to play, you are staring at a completely new strategic puzzle. It's never the same game twice. No two islands are ever alike.
And this right here? This gives you a perfect look at the basic geography of the island. You see those hexagonal tiles? Those are the terrain hexes, and they're what produce all your resources. Now look closer. You'll build your little settlements right on the intersections, where 3 of those hexes meet. And then you connect them all with roads that run along the paths in between.
Okay, so you want to expand, right? To do that, you've got to gather the island's 5 essential resources. I mean, these are literally the lifeblood of your entire civilization. Without them, you're going nowhere.
First up, we've got lumber, which you get from the forest hexes. Now, listen, this stuff is absolutely fundamental for your early expansion. If you don't have a good supply of wood, you can't build your first roads, you can't build your first settlements. Your game is pretty much over before it even starts.
Next, let's talk about brick, which comes from the hills. You're going to need to pair this with that lumber we just talked about to build, well, pretty much all of your early stuff. Think of wood and brick as the peanut butter and jelly of CATAN. They're the foundation of your whole strategy, the 2 things you absolutely need just to get going.
All right, check out these lush green pastures. This is where you get wool. And I know, it might seem a little humble at first. I mean, sheep, right? But it is a critical piece of the puzzle for building new settlements. And get this, it's also your ticket to buying those powerful, game-changing development cards. So yeah, whatever you do not underestimate the sheep.
And now for the golden fields, where you harvest grain. Let me tell you, this resource is so versatile, it's crazy. Everybody at the table needs grain. You need it for settlements, you need it to upgrade those into cities, and you also need it for development cards. That makes it one of the absolute hottest commodities in any trade. People will fight over grain. And last but definitely not least, we have the mountains. This is where you get ore. And ore is what takes you from being a simple little settlement to a massive, bustling metropolis. It is absolutely critical for upgrading to cities and for playing some of those really powerful development cards like the Knights. This is your key to late-game dominance.
So you see the pattern here, right? The really crucial thing to understand is that each type of land has a very specific job, a specific economic role. It's a brilliant design because it forces you to do one of 2 things. Either get a really diverse portfolio of resources right from the start, or you've got to become a master negotiator. You can almost never do it all on your own.
Okay, so now you've got a handle on the resources, but what can you actually do with them? What can you build? Let's take a look at the tools you'll be using to expand your civilization.
Here's the thing. Every player starts with a limited set of these building blocks. You only get 15 roads, 5 settlements, and 4 cities. And that's it. These aren't just plastic pieces. They represent the actual physical limits of your civilization. You run out, you're done building. So you have to be smart about it.
And you might be asking, how do I remember what everything costs? Well, you don't have to. This handy little reference card is going to be your best friend. It tells you exactly what combo of resources you need for everything. You want a road? That's 1 lumber and 1 brick. A settlement? That'll be a lumber, a brick, a wool, and a grain. It's all laid out for you right there.
Okay, so this is the big question, right? How do you actually get all these resources? This is where the game's 2 brilliant, and I mean brilliant, engines kick in. You've got the luck of the dice, and you've got the art of the deal. The answer? It's all about something beautifully simple and totally random. The roll of 2 6-sided dice. Yep, every single turn starts with a roll, and whatever number comes up, that's what determines which hexes produce resources. Now this is where it gets really interesting. It's all about probability. A 7 is the most likely number you can roll, but guess what? A 7 doesn't give you resources. It actually lets you mess with other players with the robber. So what are the best numbers? Well, the next most likely are 6 and 8. That makes any hex with a 6 or an 8 on it absolute prime real estate. Right from the get-go, everyone's fighting for those spots.
And the game even gives you a little visual hint. You see the dots on the number tokens? Those are called pips, and they literally show you the probability. The more pips, the more likely that number is to be rolled. So a smart player isn't just looking for one great number. You're trying to spread out your settlements across a lot of high pip numbers. That's how you get a steady stream of resources.
But let's be real, the dice aren't always going to give you what you need. So what do you do then? You turn to the game's other engine, its social engine. We're talking trade and diplomacy. You can try to make any deal you can think of with the other players. Or, if they're being stubborn, you can always trade with the bank, but the rates are terrible, unless you have a port. This is where friendships are tested, and sometimes broken.
So, you're building, you're gathering, you're trading, but why? It's all for one reason and one reason only, to get to the finish line before anybody else.
The magic number is 10. The very first player to get 10 victory points on their turn is crowned the winner, the ruler of CATAN. It's that simple. A nice, clean, elegant goal.
So how do you get these points? Well, you'll get most of them from your buildings. Every settlement you put on the board, that's 1 point. And if you manage to upgrade one of those settlements into a city, boom, now it's worth 2 points. Oh, and it produces double the resources, which is huge.
But wait, there's more. This is where you can get a serious edge on your opponents. If you build a continuous road that's at least 5 pieces long, you might just grab the longest road card. Or if you play 3 knight cards, you can claim largest army. Each of these is worth 2, count them, 2 crucial bonus points. These can totally swing the game.
And for a little bit of sneaky intrigue, you can also buy these development cards. Now, some of them are secret victory point cards. They just sit there, hidden in your hand until you're ready. You can reveal them at the very last second to snatch a win right out from under your opponent's noses. It's the best.
So is it strategy? Is it luck? Is it negotiation? What makes Catan such a timeless classic? The genius of it is that it's a perfect blend of all three. The luck of the dice means that even a brand new player can get a great roll and have a real fighting chance. But over the long haul, sharp strategy and clever negotiation will almost always win out. It's that incredible balance that creates this amazing social experience, one that's totally different every single time you play. And that's what keeps us all coming back to settle this incredible island, again and again.